Alright, so we are here with the one and only Mike Johnston.
Brother.
Man, nice to meet you.
You as well, my friend.
Thank you, thank you. So we got some questions for you.
Are they good?
I hope so.
Okay, I'll let you know at the end. I'm going to give you a score of 1 to 10 when this is over.
Alright.
Okay.
How are you and how do you like the atmosphere at the festival?
I think this festival, honestly, I really mean this, it almost ruins all other drum festivals for the artists because this is so well done. The timing is spot on. Like the drummers start at this time and it happens. The rides to and from the hotel, everything is so perfectly German. It's so right. It's just the way it should be. But the thing that makes the festival what it is, and I don't want to sound cheesy, but it is the people. Everyone that you see is just so happy and they're so excited and they're tapping on their chest and on their laps, and I'm like, yeah, man, this is why we do this. So I couldn't be happier. It's amazing. And it's warm. It's like California. I love it. I feel like I'm at home. Yeah.
Are there any specific drummers that you're looking forward to see on the festival?
Yeah, the one that you're making me miss right now, Calvin Rogers.
Oh.
Just kidding, I'm kidding, I'm totally kidding. No, Calvin was a big hero of mine when I was a kid. I mean, still is, but I knew about him when I was much younger. And then, honestly, Mike Malian. I had never seen him play before, but we've been friends for a while. And I knew that he was good, but I didn't know he was that good. Like, I haven't been that inspired in a long time. I was watching him play and I was like, yeah, I want to go home and drum. You know, like when I see the other amazing players here, it's so much, it's hard to handle. You just kind of go like, okay, everyone's the best. But when I saw Mike, it just really connected with me where I was like, wow, I'm inspired to drum, you know, and it was really cool. So yeah, between Calvin and Mike, pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, nice.
And I mean, Brody and you know, Dan, and like it never ends. Zach, they're all amazing. But definitely Mike was the one that made me just, like, I was very busy. I went on right after him, so I needed to be warming up, and I kept coming out to the front to watch him, and I was like, this is better for me than warming up. Like, this is getting me more excited than even warming up. It's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
What makes a good drummer in your eyes?
A good drummer.
Yeah.
I would say originality in their approach. I don't think it even needs to be perfect timing or fast. It's just, I just want to hear something original. I think that's what made me go listen to Mike. Mike's style of music is so homogenized. It's sampled drums, it's electronic, it's perfect. But there was this human element that I just haven't heard in that style of metal ever. So yeah, I think what makes a good drummer is that I can identify them by their voice. Every time I've walked into the room, I've known, oh, I bet Annika's playing right now, and I couldn't see. I was like, oh, that's Benny. That's what I think. Meinl is really good at picking artists that have a voice. And I know that if I walked in right now, even though I know it's Calvin, I could hear that it's Calvin. Like,
yeah, of course.
It's just like, oh, that's Calvin's pocket, you know. So I think that's what makes a good drummer to me.
Yeah, nice answer. What do you do when sometimes lack motivation or inspiration? Any tools to get you in another state of mind?
100%. Yeah, so when I lack motivation, the first thing I do is I try to find anything that is something other than drumming that's the top in the world. So I'll watch a basketball documentary on Michael Jordan. It's how I got into F1 in the first place. I only watched Drive to Survive on Netflix to see the greatest race car drivers in the world. To make me inspired about drumming. I didn't know I was going to then fall in love with F1 and then have to be at the Meinl Drum Festival during quali day at the British Grand Prix, and I was just, the whole day I was thinking about racing all day. But yeah, so like I just look for anyone that's the best in the world at something other than drumming, and I just obsess on it and then think, okay, well, I'm going to do what they did but for drumming. So yeah, I never watch drummers. Like, that makes me feel worse. I'm like, I'll never be that good. But if I watch somebody chase their dream at anything, swimming, badminton, filmmaking, like if I watch somebody start off with a cheap camera and get to the point that they're making movies in Hollywood, it's like, okay, now I'm ready to drum.
It's very spiritual answer also.
I'm from California.
But are you a spiritual person?
Yeah, spiritual is a good word for it. Yeah, like I think there's so much more to everything we're doing than we even know. And so yeah, I definitely try to be okay with it. It can't always be up here. So I don't want it to always be up here. Like, if you think about doing 100 miles an hour on the Autobahn, it feels like nothing. But 100 to 40, back to 120 to 60, that feels like something. So I want life to feel the same way. I want to be up here and get knocked down and come back up and get knocked down I mean, and today, I didn't know how today was going to go. When I got on that stage, I knew I was going to speak a lot. What if they didn't want to hear it? So this could have gone very bad for me. And then it would have been like, all right, pick up the pieces. Let's go again. Let's go. Let's rebuild ourselves. So that's part of it.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Nice. What do you think when you play the drums?
Ooh. I used to only think about what I was playing and how I would explain it to someone else. So every single note that came out of my hands, I would think, how do I tell someone else how to do this? And how do I break it down? It took a long time to divide teacher and drummer. And in moments like today where I'm actually playing, say, okay, don't be a teacher right now. Just close your eyes and play. Because when I was a kid, that's what I did. You know, I'd put on my favorite albums or my dad's favorite albums and I just close my eyes and jam. And at some point we get so analytical, we stop doing that. So yeah, now I just sing, you know. I'm literally singing the whole time. Benny grab, bang. And so I'm just trying to sing and let it come out of my hands.
Do you have any advice for young drummers that also want to be successful, to make a name in the industry, to get some gigs or a tour?
I think knowing that your skill on the instrument it's not even something to talk about. You have to be good. That's it. Yeah. There's nobody that can be bad at drumming that will make it. So you have to be good. So don't worry about that. You're going to do that. You're going to put in the time. You're going to put in the hours. But after that, the biggest thing is networking and personality. You know, like if you want a gig, I don't need you for your drumming. I need you because we're going to spend 6 weeks on the road together. I need you to be a good person. You know, I need you to be kind. I need you to calm situations down if they get amped up. And so, yeah, so I think working on your social skills, because a lot of times uber drummers and phenomenal drummers, they've spent their whole life in a room by themselves, so they don't have social skills. But social skills are how you get gigs. It's how you get a promotion in a job. It's talking to people, you know? So I think the social game is so important, especially with how much social media we have. You need to know all of it. Like, okay, yes, you know how to DM somebody and how to come across as not a salesperson, but talk to them. But then what if you met them in person? Can you shake their hand, look them in the eye? Can you know, touch their shoulder and say, we're gonna be okay? You know, like all those things. So I think that whole social game, it starts with social media. Look at those legs. Dude, it's not even fair. Oh, I wish you guys could see it. It's not even fair how good.
Look at those legs.
I mean, there's handsome men and then there's Eddie. What a stud. What a beautiful man. See you in a bit. That's social game. You got to be able to do that. Right? You got to be able to stop somebody because of their legs. But yeah, I think that's a big part of it, is understanding that social media and being social are all part of the same thing. And you have to be good at all of them. And you can't make fun of social media because you just say, oh, I just want to, you know, shake somebody's hand. And it's like, well, you might not have the opportunity to. You need to be able to digitally reach out to this person in a different country and say, I want to play drums for you, you know? Yeah. But then when the moment comes and they say, okay, we're going to fly you to Germany, can you handle yourself in a room and do all that kind of stuff? So yeah.
So nice. I like that you're so passionate about teaching. I mean, you played in a band years ago, and I think it was also very successful, and you toured a lot. But what happened?
I quit to teach.
I just want to teach.
Yeah, literally. So I was teaching before touring at a music shop. Yeah. And then got signed, got a record deal, and we started traveling. And it was only 2 or 3 weeks before I started missing teaching. And we were very fortunate to be playing big shows, big crowds, and I was like, oh, it's cool. But I wasn't feeling anything. And then I would find someone from the crowd that maybe talked to me about drumming, and I'd say, oh, you should come on our bus and I'll show you these things. And then that time for me was so much more exciting than the show. Just being on the bus with one fan and a practice pad and 2 pairs of sticks, I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. This is all I ever want to do. And so yeah, but my band was made up of my best friends, so I stayed in as long as my soul could handle it. And then finally I was like, I just have to teach. And I knew I was going to go from arenas to a small little room teaching one person, but my soul would be happier. Like I needed to, like, I always say you have to point your compass towards joy. Like I knew that would bring me more joy than big crowds, so yeah.
I think it's a tough decision to make.
Oh yeah, all my friends and my drum companies at the time. I was with a different cymbal company, different drum company. All of them were like, we can't even sponsor you anymore. Like you're gonna just be in a room teaching like one person. And I was like, Yeah, but I might have more of an impact on that one person than I do on stage. So, you know, what if that one person leaves and goes and buys one of your drum sets? Like, no one's leaving the show and buying one. So I felt that, like, teachers needed to be even recognized more for, like, they have way more impact. If they're teaching 20 people a day or 10 people a day, I mean, that's 10 people that are going to buy the sticks that they play, that are going to get the heads that they play. So that's a massive impact. So anyways, yeah, that's kind of what it started. And then right after I quit touring and was teaching, that's when YouTube launched in 2005. And so I just started putting videos on there, kind of like Dropbox. I was just storing them there, but it kept like getting more views and more views. And I was like, oh, I could teach the whole world. And then it never stopped. And I was like, that's what I want to do. So that's when I started Mike'sLessons.com and kind of everything else that I did from there.
Great story, man.
Thanks, man.
So nice. I saw a video of you at a clinic or something where you talked about the HiHat Foot. The
chick.
Different sound.
Yeah.
That sounds like when you hit the tip.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey man, that changed so much for me.
Oh,
always.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, I just tightened it. I was I don't even want to look at it, you know. And then eventually, it was a timekeeper. I had to do it in jazz band, and I was like, oh, this makes everything worse. I don't want to do this. And then when I realized what a valuable asset it was, I mean, everything I play now has left foot in it, and I love it. You know? So yeah, it's a cool thing. But that's what we're trying to do as teachers, is just pass on little things that might make someone like you go, oh yeah, I haven't tried that. Let me change my mindset a little bit. So yeah.
Nice.
That was rad, by the way. I actually kind of dug that. That was cool.
That was very nice. Yeah.
That was dope.
So it's your second or third time here? Second, yeah.
Second time at the Meinl Drum Festival, yeah.
And the first time you were here, didn't you, I think you met JP,
Yeah. So it was me, JP, Matt Halpern. We were the three Americans, and then Benny and Yost were on it, a few other people. But yeah, like I had seen JP online a little bit. I'd seen Matt from what he was doing with a company called Band Happy and from Periphery, but we didn't know each other. And then we all met here and became brothers, you know? And I was really excited about this. Like, I'd never met Grayson before. I'd never met Brody. I knew Dan just a little bit. We all know each other on social media, but we've never met in person. And I'm sure since you've already interviewed them, Zach, everybody, it's like, they're so nice.
So chill, yeah.
So nice. And it's like, it's just the best. Like when you have that first hug and you're like, thank you for being cool.
Yeah.
Thank you I mean, like, these are some of the best drummers on the planet, and they're so kind and so humble. So yeah, it's cool.
Man, that's a great ending. I have no more questions. Thank you very much.
He did good. I'm going to give you...
All right, now, how...
Okay, so the questions themselves, I would give the questions a 10, without a doubt, no doubt. Okay. I think the response after every question was also a 10, because when the interviewer looks at the interviewee and says, great answer, it makes the interviewee feel better, so it makes our ego go up, so that was very good. You have done this like 5 or 6 times today, so looking at the phone, I'm gonna knock off half a point. So we're gonna give him a 9.5. Dude, it was amazing. You crushed it.
Thank you, man.
Crushed it, man.
It means a lot.
It was beautiful. Look at you. Mom, I'm gonna go take a picture. Okay. Let me fix your shirt. That's beautiful, man. This is so cool, man. So how do you guys know each other?
He's my brother.
Dude, like, I can't even tell you how much. Can you get this?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. I can't even tell you like how much like seeing you guys today meant to me, because this is what has to happen. Like